you disagree with me? So what? I got the mic and you don't. So I can say what I want to say. I'm being bad. I told everybody I was bad. That went out to my girl, Majestic One. She's always messing with me. Anyway, it's time for our favorite coach. Look at her in her socks. Golly, are you saying
you know my sock game? Come on now. What?
You should have heard. You should have heard me earlier. I was messing with you earlier. I said, Coach K said, "I'll give her a minute." I said, "Should I give her a minute? Should I count it down or shouldn't I?" Said, "Oh no, I'm not gonna do that because she's in shape. She's liable to beat me up." So I left that one alone. I said, "I'm not even gonna touch that one." But just Coach K, I tell you
do
what
you can afford.
Yeah, let me slide over here. I want to show you something. Let me.
What's that?
Oh, thank God I had on pants today. Normally I have on the shirt and my skivvies, but I had on pants. Because I sit right here, and my wife said, "You know you don't have on any pants." I'm not planning on standing up. But we always talk about healing and everything. And I think on your last deal that you had, the brain health fair, that we got into talking about the men and all that. So this guy named Craig Washington, a friend of mine, came out to Chicago Bite and gave me his book. And his book says it all. I don't talk about it, but I need to. It's about men that need to sit up there and talk about things. It's a good book. It's 30 days. You read each one for 30 days. And so the reason why I brought that up is because mental health is running rapid nowadays. And with your health fair, you bring that out. And one thing I like about your health fair is people have a safe place to get up and talk. And we don't have that all the time. And you open up that space for that reason. And I appreciate the things you're doing. I'm so proud of what you're doing. Don't stop. Just keep on doing it.
Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop the beat. Don't stop, don't stop. I won't. I won't. You know what? Honestly, Ron, I am in a place of gratitude right now, just because. Sorry there. My bad. Look, the only person that gets through my do not disturb, of course, she will want to call now. But like I said, I am in a place of gratitude right now. I am thankful that I've been able to partner up with people that can help my vision, come through. That I can actually have an impact, and we as a collective, are making it happen, are creating these safe places for people to ask questions. That's the goal behind it for me. Be able to ask questions and maybe get connected to resources, right? So I see that's been happening, for 3 years, right? Who knew that I'd still be going, Yeah. It started off as just one Get Fit wellness fair, which is coming up in January, but it started off just as that. And then the mental health segment blew my timeline. And I said, you know what? This needs to be a conversation. We need to dedicate a whole segment to that. And because, of course, I am, health and wellness, fitness and nutrition is my thing. So it's like, all right, well, we got to have one where we just talk about that. Because those two components right there, your mental health, your mental health, you got to be right. You got to be right here. But that just doesn't come from up here. It comes from inside. Like you said, what's happening in there? What are you feeling? What are you feeling? That's contributing to maybe what you're eating. Maybe how you live. You know what I'm saying? It's all interchangeable. So I'm just thankful that I know people that know people.
Yes.
I know people that know people. So I appreciate it. I'm definitely just grateful for everybody that participates, that comes and helps, with their with their information, with their resources. It's a great place to be. Great
Yeah.
place to be. Great place to be,
Now, now I kind of anticipated, and I hope I'm right. If I'm wrong, you will let me know if I'm wrong. But I sort of anticipated we're going to talk a little bit about healthy eating this Thanksgiving and what to do on Thanksgiving. I had no idea what your subject is going to be today, but I'm going to throw this out there real quick. Coach
Mm.
K,
Mm-hmm.
the middle of December, you will get your oatmeal raisin cookies. I'll wait. I told you I was gonna wait a little bit.
Don't threaten me with a good time, my man.
I just did.
Okay.
I just did. I'm gonna knock on the door with a hot cup of coffee, whatever. Here you go. Because I tell Coach K, I get up early in the morning, like 5, and I'm baking. I'm baking. What she said, Ron, this is about your third or fourth time you made oatmeal raisin cookies. You know I like them. Well, I'm not gonna let it go another time because you're on my list for Christmas, making sure
I have
you get
said
them,
it. You
making you
know,
getting it.
you know what they said. Closed mouths don't get fed. You know what I mean? Closed mouths don't get fed. So that's how I look at it. I like cookies, so I'm letting you know I like cookies.
And you watch, Majestic One is on here, and she says she wants some too. So
I'm just saying,
I'm gonna
don't
be a,
threaten us with a good time.
I'm gonna, I'm
You
gonna,
know?
I'm gonna be baking my butt off the middle of December.
Sounds like you need to get to work. So that's what that's what I heard.
Yeah. See, didn't I
That's
tell
what I
y'all that she'll call me out on it? I told everybody during the show. I said, Coach K gonna call me out on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
let me tell you something. I'm also going to. I'm not going to call everybody out, but I'm just going to say, um, when it comes down to the holidays or so forth, I think that we need to remember that food is used to celebrate, right? We come together and we celebrate or so forth. But I think that, we also need to make sure that maybe as a family, whatever you're doing, that you are being active as a family. So it's like, for me, I like karaoke. So I plan to, have a little family karaoke going on, you know what I mean? So um, and I'm animated. I encourage whole body movements. Right? So maybe that's not what you're doing, but it would be nice, like you said, if you're getting together with people and so forth, whatever, include some fun, active activities in it. I mean, I don't know what type of stuff that you're into. Maybe, you have access to like a basketball court. Maybe after y'all get done, you can go play some basketball. Maybe you can go. It's going to be chilly, so that's good for us. We're not used to it, so get out there and pound the pavement for a family walk or something or whatever, football, whatever. But I definitely, excuse me, I want to make sure that you kind of emphasize not just eating and football.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, all right, so we're going to eat, and then we're going to sit down and watch the game. Oh, okay. Okay. I like cards. I will sit there and play some cards or so forth or whatever, you know what I'm saying, as well. Maybe that's what you're doing. I personally, I'm not opposed to that. Is it really an active activity? Not necessarily. So maybe before you play those cards, y'all could go for your walk and then come back and sit down and slap some spades or some bones or whatever you're doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or watch the football game. Moral of the story is I want to make sure that, we are getting in the mindset of being active, all the time on a regular basis. We think holiday, we think break. you know,
Yeah.
Girl, it's the holidays. I can't, girl. I got time to go to the gym. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta do this. I gotta do that.
Mm-hmm.
Then the holiday come and we just eating but we've been on the go and we've been slacking. We ain't been doing what we're supposed to be doing anyway. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Now we're still here together, all sitting doing nothing.
Nothing.
So
Nothing.
nothing. So the moral of the story is let's remember that during this holiday season, if possible, like you said, I don't know, a lot of people, I know I'm not doing a whole lot of shopping. That ain't happening. You know what I mean? However, if that's what you're doing and it takes you outside of your regular routine or whatever, what holiday parties and so forth, know that these things are coming up. So, like you said, stay active. Keep your routine. Keep your routine. Tomorrow is the start of what is rated as the 10 pounds, So statistically, majority of Americans put on 10 pounds during the holiday season.
Wow.
It starts tomorrow. So why not be proactive instead of reactive, right? Plan it out. People coming. You got some, maybe you don't care. If you don't care, great. It don't matter. But still make sure that you keep your routine. If you are, like you said, if you are gathering, then, let everybody know, hey, we want, do a family game of basketball or charades or something something. You know what I'm saying? And just to keep up with some sort of I want to say scheduled activity. You know what I mean? So it's not like you missed the day. It's like, oh, okay, well, I didn't get to go to the gym because it's Thanksgiving. However, on Thanksgiving, I was doing karaoke with my family and I'd be getting down in it.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? So I'm going to turn my watch on when I do karaoke. I'm going to turn my watch on and see how many calories that I burn. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Because I think that, like you said, we are so programmed to think what regular activity needs to be. That you have to go for a walk. You gotta get on the treadmill. You gotta do push-ups. You know what I'm saying? We talk about it all the time. You talk about your yard work being your activity. So just make sure that your activities, you're constantly getting in regular activity, but it doesn't have to feel like forced, or a job or a task. It's something you want to do.
Exactly.
So definitely encourage everybody. Remember, tomorrow starts the 10-pound game. That's when it starts. You know how I feel about it. It already had got started after Halloween. Because y'all been eating and snacking all that candy that none of them kids can get. Just
sneaking
saying.
it.
But
yeah. So here's somebody just said, say I'm planning on taking my family on a nature walk. Then I guess
Ooh.
then come back home and play some Rummy and Pictionary. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen? It's too. I'm gonna play something for you, but have you seen? I read something that the most exercised person running out there today are porch pirates because they're running up, getting their package, and running away and keep on going. Oh, I died when I heard that. But here's something I want you to let me find it real quick. This is funny. I don't know if you heard this yet. Where I put it at? I got it right here. Because this one right here, this struck me right here. My darling wife sent this to me, and let me see here. I should have had it queued up already, so I'm old. I'm old. But she sent this to me, and I fell out laughing when I seen it. You ready?
Yeah.
Here it goes.
If you bring a can of Glory Greens to Thanksgiving this year, I'm going to tell Harris County Police Department that you steal flowers out of that cemetery on the south side of Houston. Now is not the time to be a vegan Martha Stewart. Do not play with me this year. Your family ain't switched that dressing recipe in 60 years. And now you want to be different this year, putting raisins and lamb chops in the dressing. Just because you want to go viral on TikTok. Don't do that. Do not do that. Y'all let Tanisha put shrimp in the cabbage last year and had Uncle Tony in the hospital knowing he allergic to shellfish. And y'all know he ain't got no health insurance. Do not switch up this year. Ham hocks, smoked turkey wings, smoked turkey necks have been serving the black community effortlessly since slavery. And now because you became a Hebrew Israelite 3 weeks ago, you want to give a lecture on Thanksgiving about how pork is killing the black community. Not this year, David. Not this year. All of a sudden, you want to liberate your people for the holidays. But you've been staying at Granny House for the past 4 years in the back room because you thought network marketing was going to make you rich. And you trying to avoid paying child support. Stop it. If you are below the age of 35, now is not the time to attempt making the mac and cheese. Last year, Vicky made the mac and cheese with vegan cheese from Whole Foods, talking about how the family needs to start being more healthy. Vicky, I will unscrew the lug nuts off of your Honda Civic and watch you roll down Highway 288 if you play with me this year. My homegirl Trina at the Houston Defender told me to tell y'all that gravy does not come out of a can. It is made by the ebbs and flows with that diabetic left arm, mixing flour and chicken broth in that seasoning and onions, giving thanks to the Most High God to be poured all over that chicken and pork chops. The only thing that needs to come out of a can is cranberry sauce. Last year, Vicky pissed everybody off because she went to a garden in Brenham, Texas, trying to buy some cranberries so she can make the family some new type of cranberry sauce. Vicky, this year, if you play with me, I'm going to tell the city of Houston that you be tweaking your electric meter so your bill can come out to $40 every month. Nobody below the age of 30 should be washing greens. Y'all know Granny bought a new set of teeth and ain't nobody got time for her to be tasting all that grit in them greens.
Y'all are funny. I don't have the patience to listen
See,
to all that.
you see,
I'm like,
boy, I heard that and I fell out laughing. But you know, in a way, he was right about some of the things. Somebody will come along and change the rest. I'm the firm believer. If I want dressing, I want cornbread dressing. Do not come with me with walnuts, dates, raisins. Keep that to the side. I'll eat that separately to the side, but do not put it inside my dressing.
You know, I mean, I don't even really eat it like that. It's all right. Like, it's not something that, and that's the thing. As far as like, I guess like traditional, that I don't necessarily have to do like a big Thanksgiving thing. My son really likes Thanksgiving, so we're gonna, what I'm saying, get it, do the things, and he'll like, but we're not doing turkey like we're doing Cornish hens. He's gonna, put them on the grill, and I'll still have a ham, but I don't really do like I'm making some curry shrimp. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't really do traditional things, but if that's what we're doing, I'll roll with it. I'm with it. I'm here to eat.
See, I had no problem with that because my son years ago turned around and said, "Dad, all the years you have turkey, I'm starting my own tradition." I said, "Fine, go for it." So he does a brisket every Thanksgiving. And I'm over there every Thanksgiving eating with him.
I love
I go
brisket.
for my sister-in-law's house, and I go over there, and then I come home because I visit everybody. But I eat in moderation. I don't go there and get
Hmm.
powerful
Hmm.
on my food.
Hmm.
They give me something to bring home, I do that, and I go
Hmm.
from there. But it's funny how some people want to pile up on the plate like they never ate before, and I
Hmm.
just look at it, and I got a little bit of this. And you know what they ask me? Is that all you gonna eat? I said, yeah, that's all I'm gonna eat. I don't
I
have to
mean, like,
overindulge.
I hope the thing about it, like you said, what if you're eating heavy, if you whatever, if that's your day to whatever, then that's your day. If you know yourself, and if you go too hard in, and you're gonna be laid out on the couch, and you don't want to do that, then yeah, eat in moderation. So that way you can still move around, and like you said, have some for later on or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I it sometimes, especially when you cook, like you'll eat, but you won't really like eat like that, because
Yeah.
you're so busy like cooking here and tasting this and that. So you're more of like a I'm more of for me, I like the camaraderie, just like
Yeah.
like it's us getting together, and I more look forward to after the holiday. One, something that I always have is ham, because I like ham. So I look forward to after the holiday for them grilled ham and cheese sandwiches.
Oh yes.
Be smoking. So yeah, I that's what I look forward to. And then like I said, just like leftovers. And for me, like people, talk about I don't like leftovers. Ron, how many times have I emphasized that cooking is not my jam? Didn't say I can't cook, said it's not my favorite thing to do.
Right.
And if I have food, that means I don't have to cook. And you know what they did, Ron? Let me tell you something. They have a thing, it's called freezer bags.
Thank
What
you.
you don't eat, freeze that stuff up
Mm-hmm.
and keep it pressing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, especially if it's something that um, you don't really need a lot of, and you have a lot left. Like for me, like I didn't make a whole lot of sweet potato casserole, because I mean, I can run through that sweet potato casserole. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
made a little bit. My daughter, she's has to work, so I'm sending some for her. But I just made a little bit, because I was like, I don't want to have it around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas greens, got a whole thing of greens, because I can eat the greens. I don't use ham hock. I use turkey.
Same here. Same here.
But with that, even that, if you're like, man, I feel like myself kind of, getting tired of that, I will bag it up and freeze it, because then I have a meal for next time. And you see, this is the whole moral of the story. My mindset is to meal prep. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's the automatic. Even though it's the holiday time, we're making some extra things and so forth. My mindset is to meal prep. So if you are constantly putting yourself in the mind of meal prepping, of thinking ahead, you won't be part of that 10 pounds that is gained
Yes.
starting tomorrow. Just saying.
Yeah, that's so important because before, back in our days, we weren't that health conscious.
Nah.
But now you have to be, because I go back to the 70s. People sat down, ate, lay down, went to sleep, because that was the norm. And
The food was different, Ron.
yeah, that's
The
true too.
food was different. I just gave my client, before I jumped on here, I just gave her some fresh thyme and oregano for
Ooh.
her food. I grow stuff. I grow stuff that I don't even cook like that. Why am I growing herbs like that? Like I just be cooking like that, because I give it away. I like giving it away, and I like when people come to my house to cook them to have fresh stuff.
Mm-hmm.
you know. So, but the thing is, I also like I grow spinach out there. I eat a lot of spinach. So I was like, I need to grow my own spinach. So I'm about to get some more plants because I'm realizing I do eat a lot of spinach. I can't grow it fast as I'm eating it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I'm doing that. I like asparagus. Now asparagus take a long time to grow. You know what I'm
Oh, it
saying? And
does.
it's some years that. But I think next year I should be able to eat some asparagus from my yard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think so, right? I mean, but that's the thing. The food was different. So if you want to know what's in your food, grow it. But otherwise, that's why we can't eat like they did in the 50s, 60s, and so forth. Whatever, the food is different, and whatever is in the food. Look at every other country, and then look at us.
Yeah.
Our stuff, like you said, we accept below average, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get your show canceled, but I can go on about the
How do you go?
you look because the USDA is not. Come on, let's
Yeah.
stop. Like, come on. But
Yes.
I'm not gonna go off on that tangent.
Yes. Yeah. Somebody just put up here. What's up with all this bioengineered food?
Exactly.
That is so true.
Exactly.
That is the reason why.
Exactly.
That is the reason why I go to a meat market where their food
Mm-hmm.
is fresh.
Yeah.
I go to one in New Braunfels.
Oh.
Every quarter I'm buying a freezer special, and it's all
Mm.
fresh meat.
I forgot about those
Yes.
raisins, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the reminder. And you're right. Like you said, the bioengineered foods, I mean, they're integrated into everything,
Yes.
right? Everything. At my fitness and nutrition expo, I had one of the sponsors, Alpha Solar. He had donated some Luna bars, lower bars, and because he asked, he said, "What would He said, "I can get some." I said, "Well, if you're going to get something like that, get these." And it's because they have only 4 ingredients. I'm not Anybody that knows me knows I'm not a bar person. I'm not a protein bar, protein shake type person. That's
Yeah.
not really what I do. However, I do try and make smart choices when I do have to get those quick things. You know what I'm saying? So definitely the bio and pay attention to your ingredients, folks.
Yeah.
Use that app. Doing that, I believe it was our first fitness and no, maybe that was during the Get Fit Wellness Fair. We learned about an app. Was the first time I heard about it.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
What
Because
is
that
it?
one lady asked about, and
YUKA.
she shared it with everybody. I remember that, and you had people going around getting the app from her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you see, resource. You see how
Yes.
that works? But use that app. If you use that app, it'll show you what's in, if it's safe, how much, remember if you pay it, how much, I guess toxic, whatever is in there. So if you're concerned about it, I definitely say, the tools are out there. Use them, And then the other thing is just grow it.
That point. Yes.
Just grow it. I can't wait to have a true like garden, like a real space where my grandmother. We grew up in the middle of Baltimore City, or we had a garden, like where we were out there tilling tilling soil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Grandma grew stuff. She grew all the greens and cabbage and collards and all that stuff or whatever, carrots and stuff. All that stuff came from out the yard. The squash, the stuff that I grow now. are things that I remember my grandmother growing. Like, I grow tomatoes. Like, I'm gonna make some cucumber salad my son wants, and I'm using tomatoes for my garden. So
Yeah.
I mean, the weather was so hot, I didn't really get cucumbers and squash and stuff like I usually do. But now stuff that is cooling off. Stuff is growing like crazy. Keep on growing.
That's right.
I'm a keep on growing.
That's right.
But definitely, guys, like you said, if you get in the habit of paying attention to what you eat, Thanksgiving is not a big deal. Just being honest, it's not a big deal because you've already you're already making good choices. So if you decide to, what I'm saying, have a plate and go back for seconds, all right, but you also, again, you make good choices. So if you make good food choices, then that must mean that you practice regular physical activity. So even though you may eat that 2 plates, you have gone and you gonna go play ball in the morning, or you went for a walk afterwards, or you went for a walk in between plates. You did push-ups in between plates. You know what I mean? He was like, hey, what I mean, seriously.
Yeah, you're right.
I challenge y'all. Let's share y'all stuff. What y'all do for activity? I challenge y'all to have like some push-up contests and so forth or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Some squat contest. Do something where it gets everybody involved. You know what I'm saying? And like just because. And maybe that earns you a few more calories that you can have another piece of cake or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So you're right. You're right about all that. And reading the ingredients, I look at something, I read it. I'm in a grocery store. So now my wife will come in the grocery store. What are you reading? This right here. You know what you're reading? I said, yeah. So to make a long story short, she's banned it from going with me to the grocery store. She hasn't been to the grocery store with me in almost a year. I do all the shopping. I read the labels. I come home with it, and she doesn't complain about it. So
That's right.
Basically, I fired her from going to the grocery store with.
You know what? Just being honest. I mean, as long as it would probably have to be like my maid that was going to the store for me, because I'm gonna send a list. I know what I want.
Yeah.
I know what I want. You're talking to somebody who don't even do the pickup because I don't want them picking out my food. They don't know what kind of produce I like.
Yeah.
What kind of meat I don't know. Don't touch my stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
But I definitely, I mean, that's what's up. I'm waiting for the day that I have, I don't have to do nothing. I hear about these husbands that cook and do all the things and so forth or whatever, Hey, I'm down the clown.
That's me. That's me. I do. But you know what? She gotten good now. Let me tell you what she does. I said, let me know what you want. She opened up the app for HEB. She puts everything on there, and it tells me what hour it's on. It tells me everything on there. So she said, I sent this so you can't mess up and bring home the wrong thing. I said, girl, you better sit down.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
But it's right there, and you can't miss it.
That's right. Something that and every guy does it. I really don't understand how y'all brain goes. It'll be right there. I didn't see. Are you serious? It was right in your face. So kudos to her. It's on aisle 5, 4th shelf. Shoot.
Yeah. But another thing, when I do go to the store, I got a list. Everything's on there. And then when I get back home, she said, did you go to the store? I said, yeah. That was too quick. That's because you're not with me. Because I go in and get what I need to get, and I
be throwing shots, don't you, Ron? Jeez.
Yeah, well, she know that. Because she will sit there, well, what about this? I'm not that procrastinator. What's on the list, I get it. I'm gone. I'm out.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah.
I have always been like that. So
I'm not. I can't say that I am. If I'm, sometimes I can. Sometimes because you've been in HEB. They have the little demos, so you gotta do the samples, and you gotta I talk to my local HEB people, so I got, you gotta, hey, so forth or whatever, so
yeah,
I mean, sometimes I'm in and out, sometimes I'm there, and
yeah.
literally can come out with 5 things, but be there. I do. I'll be like,
now, what I will go and what most men don't do. My wife said, I'm going shopping. I said, you going to HEB? She said, no, that's your job. I'm going shoes and clothes shopping. You want to go? I said, I'll pass on this one. But I do go sometimes, and I tell you what, Coach, we be in there still for 3 or 4 hours, and I'm not mad about it because you guess what I'm doing? I'm walking around in the mall. I'm getting
mm,
exercise. You can stop by as many
yeah,
stores you want. I'm walking. I'm
yeah,
walking. Say, I look at it at a different way. All right,
yeah.
men, you don't want to go grocery shop your woman, but guess what? You can walk around there and get exercise while you're doing it. That's how I
Them,
look at
I don't have that problem. It's me that's like, yo, we're done shopping. Like, God, man, he will tear up a mall. You hear me? It don't matter. Hey, tear up a mall. So yes, yeah, I don't have that issue. So it's usually me that's like, dude, I'm hungry. Like,
it.
done here.
Let's eat and walk it off.
Yeah, I
Eat,
mean,
eat,
but
eat first, and then go walk it off shopping.
yeah, you definitely got to feed me first.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely got to feed me. Definitely got to feed me first. Like,
Coach K's.
look, if you want me to be pleasant, he may want to.
You are a mess. You are a
I'm
mess.
just saying. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I know.
I mean, know yourself. Know yourself.
Yeah.
And honestly, like you said, that's why one of the reasons. I've been still doing the Veggie Mondays, right?
Right.
So, and I wanted to share that because I didn't post on Monday. I just been busy, I got stuff I got to run after here, my next client, and then shoot out.
Yeah.
I'm moving. However, I still did it, even though it is the week of Thanksgiving. I'm running, I'm busy, or so forth. I still am not um deviating from the plan.
Good for
The
you.
plan is to have vegetables, veggies all day on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
That is the day. That is the day that I reset my system. The day, and does it spill over into the week? Yes, it does.
Mm.
It does. Because sometimes I don't have anything but vegetables to eat because I made it for
Yes.
Monday.
Yes.
So I'm still eating vegetables for breakfast because I don't have anything else fixed and I gotta go. I'm still, so it has spilled over to where, just being honest, I don't feel bad about anything that I eat tomorrow. And because I really have been cognizant of making sure I drink my water, get my
Exactly.
water in, that I my vegetables and things. I'm eating more fruit. I got the grandkid coming, and kids come, so I gotta make sure that fruit is available for snacking,
Yeah.
because again, we are going to be eating some heavier things. So, like, honey, I gotta make my cornbread. My cornbread is like cake. Okay. So,
Yeah.
and I gotta have a slice.
Or
So
two. Or three.
I'm good with one.
Okay.
I'm usually good with one. Like I said, um, with me and bread, mm, I can do it, or I can just not at all. You know what I mean? So it's not really a big deal, but I am looking forward to having some. My son, they want chili for dinner tonight, so I gotta get up there. Yeah, and it's cool. It cooled off, so that kind of came into play, right? So yeah, I'm moving and shaking. I'm moving and shaking, moving and shaking.
Okay, so let's have some closing words because I'm gonna be running around the day, and
I know.
I got one more thing to do, and then I'm gonna be out and about getting things needed to do. Got to take the car into the shop for a recall, and then my truck going to shop on Friday. So I'm see. This remind me, if anybody's from up north, we winterize our vehicles.
Winterize, yeah.
Yeah, and we get them and put them in, so it's set for the winter time. So I still do the same concept down here just to get it done.
Do you? Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know. I went through and washed up Charlie yesterday because I was like, man, he was looking kind of sad, looking like nobody loved him. So had to, put a little elbow grease in it,
there
what I'm saying? Run it on through. Oh, I forgot to put my tire shine on. But like I said, I have as many sides to me, many sides.
Yeah. I only seen a little bit, but I know it's more. But that'd be all right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. A lot of those Gemini ways. But all right, guys, listen. Seriously, moral of the story, right? Please don't abandon the plan. If you've been eating like you have some sense, continue to eat like you have some sense, and don't feel bad about eating tomorrow. Don't feel bad about it. But if you're eating like you have some sense, that means in that meal, then you right back on plan the next meal, the next day, right?
Right.
Activity. Man, be the change you want to see. If you want to be more active, if you're on a weight loss journey, I don't like these New Year's resolutions, and this is right where we're at. And remember what I said now, tomorrow starts that 10-pound gain. So do you want to be ahead of the game, proactive, or do you want to be reactive, trying to get rid of the 10 pounds that you put on because you went ham and continued?
That point.
Don't derail from the plan. Stay on task. Stay on task. Plan a family activity. If y'all are getting together, if you're getting together with friends and family, be active as a group. Do something everybody can do. So that way, like you said, you get a little bit of both. You get the camaraderie, you get the good food, and you get some activity, right? Plan it out. Don't deviate from the plan, because then, like you said, you still got in some of your activity that you normally would get on a regular Thursday.
That's so true.
So, that is the moral of the story. Okay. Don't let that 10 pounds catch up to you.
Amen. Coach K, you have a blessed Thanksgiving. And
same to you.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks, because then in a couple of weeks, we're going to talk about what's happening in January, get that all built up and ready to go. But it's a pleasure talking to you all the time, because you're my spark plug. You keep me going.
Well, I appreciate that, Ron. Like I said, when it comes down to that, my man, what's his name? Ron G. He looks out for me. So I appreciate you. I honestly do love you like a play cousin, Definitely would love you a whole lot more when I get them cookies. So that's what's up.
That's coming. I'm going to make sure I get them cookies. I'm going to make sure.
All right. I am waiting patiently. But until then, guys, like I said, honestly, stay on task. Don't let that 10 pounds get up to you, man.
Yes. All right, young lady.